What is up, guys? It's Verns back here again with another Supercoach video. This time it is the BBL round, season review at the end of the day. So we finished the season ranked 2,240, dropped 34 positions, and scored a 679. At the end of the day, season-wise, it wasn't the worst season, wasn't the greatest season, but I'm not too disappointed with it. The final round, we did probably take a bit of a gamble and didn't quite pay off, but that's fine. It was very weather affected, a lot of the games, and maybe I didn't stay up to date enough with the weather. We also started with Abbott, who ended up being a bit of a mess there. We ended up holding him through the time that he missed. We ended up having Curran, who was a bit of a mess. I think worst thing with Abbott is not only did he miss games, but then he underperformed when he played, so he was a bit of an awful starting pit. We started Coulton Nile, which was high risk, high reward, and we got punished there. So, look, a lot of things that didn't quite go our way. And as I mentioned, final week we did take a bit of risk, and that's why we got our final ranking. And in reality, it's really not that bad. Definitely could have been better, but that's okay. Look, before we jump into this any further, first of all, I really appreciate all those that have smashed that like button and those that have subscribed for their constant injection of Supercoach content. I'll do my best to keep pumping that out. Obviously got out some AFL content the other day. Probably rambled a bit too much in that, as I always do. And then I've been getting out obviously NBL content on the weekly, where we've been traveling quite nicely. So hopefully we can continue to do well there. But we will jump into the team. I guess, what did I learn from this? First of all, it's pretty sporadic, this game. Like, weather can come into effect and, just ruin games, and we always knew that was a factor, but unlike other Supercoach formats, you can sort of pick your players for the week, see the first game, do your loopholes that you need, and then sort of chill out, where in this, sometimes just through the week, games be called off from weather, and if you're not paying attention to that, you can't just fall behind the eight ball, and look, didn't pay 100% attention in a lot of situations, but that is a-okay. Sorry, I will call the missus back in a minute. But yeah, this is how the final team stacked up. At the end of the day, a bit different to what I originally showed you guys. Obviously, I showed you Boyce as a loop. I showed McDermott as a loop, and I worked out that overall that would have definitely netted me points because of Sydney missing the second game. I would have taken Boyce as 50. I also technically had Hardy on the field when I had my trades. I had Hardy, Boyce, and Sam's come in, and then I was running McDermott as a loop and Boyce as a loop. The thing is with that, Boyce is 50, I would have taken that, meaning I would have traded Hardy back out for a non-playing player, so wouldn't have got Hardy's great score, so that doesn't really matter too much. It's really minus Warner's score, minus Hale's score, and then you add McDermott's score, which is already more than both of those scores combined, so 11 extra points, and then the 50-something from Boyce, so probably an extra 50 points there that would have pushed us towards 60 extra points, which would have been quite nice for the final round. But look, that's fine. At the end of the day, like, I played a bit more high risk, high reward. Like, I wanted to put in a bunch of these Sydney players, and at the end of the day, if the Sydney players got a second game in, it would have been much better for our overall score. It would have been a pretty monstrous score for the week, and I thought, I'm so far behind the pack, I might as well play for the upside. Like, what's the harm? What is there to lose? Like, I'm not going to win anything. Not going to really lose anything. Maybe I can win a few minor finals. So I decided to play for upside, and it didn't quite work out, but whatever. That's what you do. I mean, as I said, nothing to lose there. But as I said, not a terrible season. We're going to just quickly go through the leagues for those that did participate in them. Now, I did go over the leagues the other week, and I won a public league, but that's obviously irrelevant. Public leagues, 9 times out of 10, are pretty hot garbage. Now, the one that was relevant to me was, I guess, winning the minor finals against Spills in Spills League. So I got him 2 for 2 in the BBL season. So good warm-up for AFL. See if he can get me back there. That's where the main show comes into effect, and that's where the main bragging rights are. Speaking of AFL, real quickly, for anyone that is interested, I will be doing the AFL podcast for the Supercoach Hub. I'll be jumping on that with Scobie and Supercoach Pleb. Probably looking at doing our first podcast next week sometime, and I think that's going to be a really awesome show that we do. So I'm pretty keen for that. Pretty keen to jump on and talk some shit with those boys. Look, it might be a bit of a pie circle jerk, but I promise we'll try and keep it under wraps, completely unbiased. But yeah, if anyone interested in that, go over, hit the subscribe button there, and make sure to tune into us weekly. We're going to try and get out some weekly content heading into the season, and then obviously our weekly discussion. So really excited to talk some Supercoach with those boys. Now, huge congrats to the winner of Supercoach with DR's league. Now, the reason that I'm congratulating here. People might find it weird that I'm congratulating in a Supercoach for DR, but obviously me and DR, if you guys did miss that, we did a collaboration for our BBL Supercoach earlier in the BBL year, and we did actually put out that if people were subscribing to my channel, they would go into a pool where we would potentially put them into a Supercoach league for either AFL or BBL, whatever floats their fancy. So this league, as much as it's DR's league, it was more or less for people that had subscribed to my channel and managed to and requested to be in a BBL league with me and DR. So that's why I'm shouting out there, because obviously I was part of setting that up. Huge shout out to DR for first of all setting that up, and obviously the podcast in general. Just really appreciated that with him. But huge shout out to Matt's obviously Matthew who won, but Matt's Sandgropers. Oh, whoop, probably shouldn't have said that. Oh well, such is life. Ends up taking the finals, which congratulations there. Not the best overall score from Matt, but obviously played the weeklies, got shit together towards the end of the season, and managed to win finals, which is really nice for him. We did have DR actually taking out the minor finals from 6th place. Really funny thing in DR in this league is I think DR was maybe the second for total points, and Travis Gave Head was quite high on total points as well. So if we look at the total points there, Travis Gave Head 4th, DR was 1st for total points. So the actual total points games was really nice for DR and Travis Gave Heads, but didn't work out in their head-to-heads. One of those classics, every week you play, you're playing somebody on their grand final and you just somehow lose. But obviously Matt down for 6th for total points, but managed to get a final series win, and really good stuff there, because sometimes you can get a few good wins throughout the years, just get the right matchups at the right time, but getting it together for the pointy end of the season to pick up the trophy, that's really nice work there, Matt. So congratulations there. And then we did have the Supercoach Hub, where I actually managed to take the minor final there as well, I think. And we did have the Supercoach consensus team actually taking 1st place in the Supercoach Hub there, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, anyway, I guess a huge shout out to all those that participated, and I appreciate you for participating. I appreciate all those that stay to the end of my videos, those that like, subscribe, always a part of it, and I'm really excited to be getting into the AFL season. I'm also excited for my BBL stuff that's been going really well. For those that don't know, I did win a weekly with that a few weeks ago. I've had rank 15 for a weekly. I've had rank 22. I've had some really good weekly ranks, and not to call it early because we still have 4 more games to go, but I'm definitely in for a shot for this weekly. If Lee from Illawarra can get his shit together, maybe 20 points in his game tonight, I'm going to feel pretty confident in me actually getting up another weekly win. Might be going the early crow there, but I'm just going to put it out there. Might as well. Why not? My team's looking pretty stacked. So, yeah. Anyway, till next time, guys. Peace. Later.